unfortunately we're going to have, I don't know, someone in office that's pretty much not going to be welcoming to a lot of us here. And one thing that I do want to hope for in Chicago is now that they're trying to push this DREAM legislation for Chicago and for the state of Illinois. And I know when Rahm Emanuel was in the White House, he pretty much, worked his way around the immigration bill that had passed. So he was one of the main reasons why it didn't pass to begin with. So I just hope he doesn't sell any more false promises like Obama did when we elected him, when we wanted comprehensive immigration reform. So hopefully this works, hopefully it passes, and hopefully he's in the side of immigration as well. Another thing that I envision for the city of Chicago is actually to have more youth programming here in the city. If we go and walk around every single ward, we will see that there isn't an after-school center for our children to participate in. There isn't adequate buildings where our students or our children can actually play and enjoy themselves. We have a lot of buildings in the south side, southwest side that are abandoned playgrounds with glass and shattered buildings and bricks, which is not safe. I'm pretty sure Rahm Emanuel himself wouldn't allow his children to play in dilapidated buildings. So I would love to see more buildings and centers for our children, for our youth, and even for our elderly, even for everybody. Like, I want to be able to go somewhere and make art, and I really would love for the city of Chicago to provide some of this. And it's funny because I was listening to NPR on the way over here, and I got to give it up to Amaya Pawar, right, who actually won. And give her a round of applause. And one of his campaign promises, right, is to only make $60,000 and give the rest back to the community. And I just found it really ironic that for someone who wants to take a pay cut, he actually has to put together a bill and try to pass it with all the aldermen just for him to get a pay cut. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is trying to do something very positive and very welcoming for his community, but he has to get other aldermen to sign this bill in order for him to get a pay cut. So imagine if all our aldermen took a pay cut to give it back to the communities where they work at, and not be, puppets and pawns like those in the 13th Ward where I try to run for alderman, where we have someone who is pretty much Michael Madigan's right-hand man and does anything and everything he wanted, who is also going to be a silent man in office. But that's why we're here, right? So we can vision a better new Chicago. So hopefully all of us here, whoever our alderman is, that we start holding him accountable for what we want as people who want a progressive Chicago.